Hey there, Sart here. So I made a few modifications to my team. As you can see, I've removed Tyvus and put in Mastermind Zon. We're going to use some old school Zon shenanigans here to try and improve our score. So this team has on average been doing around 16 billion. As long as everything goes, as long as everything goes right, and whereas my previous team was only averaging around 15 billion, so I was able to squeeze out an extra billion. I got an improved score with this team, and I think this is probably the last team I'm going to do. Just my own personal lack of specific units and everything to really put a solid team together. I'm not going to be reaching the high scores you may be seeing some other people putting out there, like 20 billion or higher. I just don't have the units, and I honestly don't don't feel like putting in that much time for this particular Dark Visions. We've got Clash of Wills coming up this week, so I'm definitely more excited about that. So as you can see, the team is very, very similar. We're still using Esther to Omni cover most of the damage. The only exception to that being on turn 4, where we're just going to face tank it. And so, this team will probably have a bit of a lower damage taken score, but it's not too bad. And the improvement on the damage output means we get a better overall score. Now I'm going to jump right into the fight, and then I'll show you the gear at the end just to make sure everything goes smoothly. All right, let's get in there. All right. So first thing we're going to do, Ingus is going to go ahead and fill up his LB because my Ingus is only EX1. We need that LB filled for next turn. All right, Esther is going to do her Omni cover, Storm Guardian, and Energizing Bunny. All right, Rain will go ahead and do True Undermine for the breaks for this turn. Sylvie is going to do Compassionate Knight, Elemental Vines, and Elemental Petals. Genesis can guard, and Zon can guard on this turn. They don't have to do anything. You'll notice we're not using Zidane's STMR at all in this fight. While you could potentially put it on Genesis because he has nothing to do until turn 4, he would lose a significant amount of damage because you'd have to either take out 50% MP or the Bug Killer, and that's you just can't do that. So we're not using Zidane's STMR at all on this team. All right, first thing you want to do, bring Esther back to normal, do her LB. That's the first thing you do on this turn. All right, and the reason why is because we're then going to use Ingus's Brave Shift LB. We don't want to overwrite the Imperil fields. Okay, so Esther has to go first, and then Ingus. Rain and Genesis can both guard on this turn. Sylvie is going to shift. All right. In Brave Shift, she will do Paladin's Defense, Beaten Insect on Ingus, and I've Got Your Back on Ingus. Okay, that's going to refill Ingus's LB, which we'll need again on turn 4. All right, Zon can now use Double Up, use Critical Mirror on Ingus to steal the buffs and the killers, and Mystical Mirror. All right, for the to seal the non-elemental magic attack. All right, so on this turn, Esther is going to come back to Brave Shift and do the Fire Amp. All right, the Ramping Amp. Genesis, again, can just guard on this turn. Rain is going to shift and do his Brave Shift at LB to go ahead and put a stack on that. Zon can just go ahead and hide, use Stealth. All right. Sylvie is going to come back to normal. All she has to do on this turn is Burgeoning Defense for the 85% general mitigation. Doesn't matter that we're getting dispelled this turn because she will reapply it next turn. That's the beauty of that skill. Ingus can just guard on this turn. Okay. All right, so now we've got our setup turn. All right, Esther's going to come back to normal. All right, she's going to do bolting, slice, impact, and calm before the storm. Genesis is going to do elemental burst fire, fill LB, and loveless preface. Make sure loveless preface is the last thing you do for the mag store. All right. Rain is going to do Infiraga to re-imbue everybody. Elemental burst fire, and armor grant me the power. Alright, Ingus is going to come back to normal, do his normal LB. This gives everybody quadruple black magic, including himself. Plus, it does a huge mod boost to all of his black magic skills. Alright, so that's how we're going to pump some extra damage out of him on this one. Alright, Sylvie's going to come back to Brave Shift, do her Brave Shifted LB for the buffs, the LB damage buffs and all that. Now Mastermind Zahn will do Projected Mirror to put all the killer buffs back on everybody, and Mystical Mirror to seal the non-elemental magic attack. Okay, so as you can see, the incoming damage is really not too bad. You could probably even go a step further than I did to, you know, reduce that damage to you know, as close to nil as possible. But as you can see, our damage taken score isn't going to be that much below perfect here. All right, so this is pretty simple. So now Genesis, of course, does his finisher. We've got LB. Zahn does Blazing Red Flash, or if you don't have that, just use his normal LB. It also does Extreme Nova, so that's fine. Ingus and Sylvie will quad Fire-Raga. I gave Sylvie Ifrit Esper so that she can quad cast Fire-Raga to chain with Red Mage Ingus. So with all the mod boosts and everything to his black magic skills, by quad casting Fire-Raga, it comes out to like a 4,000 times modifier from Ingus. So it's not too shabby. He'll do like 1.5 billion for you. And that's only at an EX1. You know, if I had an EX2 or higher, he might even do a little bit better. Anyways, I'm going to start Ingus and Sylvie first, let them ramp up the chain, then I'll send Genesis, and then I'll send Rain, Zahn, and Esther in that order. Again, always making sure Esther is the last person to go so that nobody gets the Imperil field overwritten. Okay? Now the hope here is that none of the chains break. Sometimes it happens, and I'll just have to re-record. Alright? Hopefully that doesn't happen. Let's see how we go here. Sweet. Alright, if we get everybody in, it's 148 hits. Looks like we did. Let's see what the damage score is. I'm hoping for 16 bill at least. Whoa, 16.8. That's my highest. Sweet. Alright, that's my highest score yet. Almost 17 bill. Alright, let's see how everybody rolled. Nice. So yeah, you see our damage taken score is, you know, just shy of 20,000. You know, but our most damage in one turn is much higher than what I was putting out previously. So obviously the result is a higher overall score. Wow, yeah, Genesis hit a high roll, 8.5. Rain doing about average at 5. He can go as high as 5.5. Esther doing about normal at 2 bill. Ingus actually rolled low. He's gone as high as 1.6 for me. So yeah, that could have been a 17 bill run right there, but I'm fine. I'm honestly fine with what I've got there. That's a good score. I'm happy. All right, so there you go. You know, I'm just hoping that'll keep me at in the top 1,000. We'll see. All right, let's go over the gear real quick. So this will look pretty familiar or pretty similar to my previous clear that I showed you guys. So Esther just, you know, high attack gear, Magister's Ring for Chain Cat boost, bug killers, and then this vision card for the 100% fire amp. If you don't have it, just put your strongest card you have in there. Esther just won't do quite as much damage, obviously. She's got 300% bug killer and full LB damage boost. In a Brave Shift form, just make sure you have at least one Blizzard Orb. for counters, and just a good spread of resistances and bulk. You definitely want to try and bulk up both her defense and spirit for, because she's going to be tanking both physical and magic attacks in this one. And that's really all you need for her there. Rain in his normal form, you can see we didn't even need Sword of Kings. That was from a previous build. That's irrelevant. So all this gear is pretty irrelevant, actually. I would put Wisdom of Hess on him, however, for the free physical and magic mitigations that are permanent and undispellable. All right, so that just helps reduce the incoming damage on turn 4. In his Brave Shift form, all my best gear here for him, just cranking up his damage. He only needs 1 Bug Killer Materia GF extension for EP and stats. Promise of Childhood and Prodigious Performer is there for chain ramp speed, but you don't necessarily need it on this fight because we're letting the chain ramp up anyways. 300% Bug Killer, 400% LB damage, good to go. All right, Sylvie, her build here is irrelevant. Build her however you want. You can build her for evasion, make sure she's got good elemental resist, which she has innately. This is left over from my previous clear. You don't need it, obviously. Just make sure she has Ifrit Esper so that she has Fire Aga in her kit. You don't even have to give her Air and Use Ring because Ingus takes care of that. So, yep, build her however you want here, guys. Genesis, he's got his STMR, Prophet's Diadem for high MP, Ruler's Regalia, Magister's Ring for Chain Cat boost, Pixie Dust just a high mag accessory, capping up his MP with Miracle Magic and Cool Beauty, Bug Killer Plus, Seer of the Future for TDH. Obviously, Dazzling Demoness is the best card for him. Now, you may see that they have another one coming out this week on Malphase's Step Up banner that also has 500 base MP and 135 base mag, I think. So it's technically an upgrade to this card. However, for this fight specifically, Dazzling Demoness I think is still going to be better because it has 100% Bug Killer. So keep that in mind, okay? I think this is still going to be the better vision card for this particular Dark Visions. But in all other cases, probably the new vision card that's coming out this week will be better on Genesis. So he's got 250% Magic Insect Killer. Make sure you look in the Magic column. And that's all you really need for him. Good to go. All right, Zahn, tried to build him for a little bit of damage, but it's irrelevant, honestly. Yeah, I gave him this card for the Blazing Red Flash, but like I said, you don't need it because his LB also does Extreme Nova on it. So yeah, you can build him however you want. You can try and build him for damage. It's not going to really make a difference. You can just build him for bulk otherwise. Wisdom of Hess, again, is important for the mitigations. And Ingus. So in order to actually pump out some extra damage, obviously he's got the Dark Vision Sword, so he can take advantage of the Sword Imperil. He's got his STMR, Kuja's STMR, and Circlet help cap up his TDH. Memory Chip for the Chain Cat boost. Memory Chip is, of course, Ultimate Regina's STMR. And then, yeah, just lots of bug killers. And this is just the best vision card I have for him that also grants 500 flat mag. I don't think he's capped on bug killer. No, 250% bug killer. Again, looking at the magic column. But yeah, that's the best I can do for my Ingus. Maybe if he was EX2, he could do even a little bit better. In his Brave Shift form, as you can see, we didn't need Sword of Kings. I just put it on there from a previous build, but he does have Wisdom of Hess to help reduce the incoming damage on turn 4, and that's all he really needs in his Brave Shift form. All right, and that's it. That's all she wrote. So I think that's all I'm going to do for this Dark Visions. We've got Clash of Wills coming up this week. I'm very excited about that. I am going to be polling for Malphase, not specifically for Malphase, although I'll be excited to get her, but I'm polling for the vision cards, both of them. Obviously I want the upgraded Dazzling Demoness one for my Genesis, but I also want the one with Esther and Sylvie on it because, oh my god, I love Esther and Sylvie. Those of you that know me know they are my favorite characters in this game by far, and seeing both of them on a vision card just makes me so happy. So I'm going to get that vision card, and it's going to go on my home screen. It's going to live there forever, and I will be happy every time I boot up the game and see it. I just hope the music is good. But yeah, anyways, I think I'm done with this Dark Visions, unless I think I can use Malphase in this particular event, but I don't know that I will. We'll see. We'll see. This Dark Visions does last for 3 weeks, so anything can happen, right? But anyways, thank you guys so much for following me. Hope this helps you, and I will see you on the other side.